now. This explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for money, strictly for money. Survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm in deep cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Records on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like the warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York with a pitchfork.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a buy, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way and I'm way up and made it.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Newton on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Levante David coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he's going to go down again. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Flex round!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to air one. That's caught at the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And this is caught at the 8. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the... And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the... Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Newton to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Curry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the... He's got him in! Complete! It's a big play there for the Saints. 47 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. On second down, Collins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception.
And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Now Collins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw now on 1st down. He's going to take another shot here. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you are somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Flex round! Flex round!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this 1st quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
He'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Delgado. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at. The 40.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Newton. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're on the move here. They've got it first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton, Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Again, he'll drop to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Panthers will get the football back. So the defense asked to stay out and get 1 more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offensive backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. It's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Newton can fight it. He lost the football. It's out. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction.
And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3.
And this will be caught at the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 49 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Panthers will get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right?
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are pouring it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed. The pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Panthers will get the football back. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
He's going to go deep for... And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
Ohio! Flex round!
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Looking to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but do you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation.
And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's going to go down again. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now back to throw. Going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Bryant. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He sets the fire, and he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints just continue to roll.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Ready? 180.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
180.
They run with Collins, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So it's halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you.
And got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Saints. 46 yards.
Really good recognition of the offensive line of the blitz. They picked it up, allowed for more time to throw the ball deep downfield, and a big-time completion.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant. A good pickup there at 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. Just being
looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints are pouring it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
180.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And again, it's Collins. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, but now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Pass interference.
Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
1st down.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. Muscle. There goes Alex Collins. The 40. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Alex Collins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Panthers gain a bit of respectability. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Flex round! Flex round!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to loft one, deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they hit home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. To throw on third down. Newton over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he finds a man in a crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. It's a big play there for the Saints. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they took field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Flushed out right to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned at ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Saints are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about the 4 in the game.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the block.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order. Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him?
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 51 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Flex round! Flex round!
On second down, Kamara. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints just continue to roll. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spent a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
180.
They'll run the counter with Collins, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They go again with Collins, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And Call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is Collins on the handoff. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready? Like Eddie.
From the 50, Newton. Throw left side complete. It's Curry. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On first down, Newton. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Newton now to throw. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first. Cam firing. He lost the football. It's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number... And he's got him! It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They fake the give. Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Newton now to throw.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
Do you want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Flush to his right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
Ohio! Ohio!
He'll look to throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 26 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Newton. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, it's Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Newton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral. Because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Bryant with a catch right side. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking for White on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 53 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really...
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on second down is Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Huh, interesting. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got a man complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 47 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 14. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Panthers have recovered.
with no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty...
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
It's like my old high school coach used to say, Charles. He said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Flex round! Flex round! Four down! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking for White on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of